All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Hack the Box series with yours truly, O-Line Security. This is Toby Owalabi, and we are going to be hacking another box. This one will be the machine called Artic with Hack the Box. All right, this was a pretty cool box to do. It was straightforward for the most part. Some vulnerabilities that are pretty common out there in regards to a certain application. That was what this box was about. Essentially, right? Trying not to give away that application, but if you've done this box, you probably were already familiar with the application prior to. If you weren't familiar with it, this was a good box to learn about that vulnerability and how to exploit it. So let's go ahead and get started. I have already completed this yesterday or the day before, so I won't be doing some of the scans that was conducted in order to complete this box, but I will still talk about them. So the first thing we did, y'all, was our Nmap scan. Okay, and Nmap did show us some open ports. I think there were about 3 different ports that were open. We had port 135, port 8500, port 49154. Now what I did was I tried to see if this was possibly being hosted on some type of web application, and this one too. So I had used Firefox to browse to these two ports, right? So 10.10.1.11 actually. So 10.10.10.11 colon 8500, and then 10.10.10.11 colon 49154. This didn't return anything. Okay, obviously it's probably just some program for some other application. I don't know. But this right here, 8500, it did return something for us. Okay, 8500 actually did not bring me here. It brought me here. Okay, so I wasn't familiar with the application that was running behind this. This is the first time that I've actually popped a box that was using this application. I still haven't given the name. You can probably guess it based off of the tabs I have up here. So I'm just doing enumeration at this point, right? I come to this web page. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what these files or these directories mean. So I literally just started going down the different directory paths, trying to figure out what's what this system is, what this application is, what it's doing. And eventually I came across this directory here. Okay, so that was through this guy. And this is pretty slow, so I'm not going to wait for that to spin up. But eventually I did end up coming down to this path, and it gave me a login page here, right? And it says that the application is CodeFusion, right? CodeFusion is running on this box, and it's running version 8, right? If you just Google what is CodeFusion, right, you get some information about it over here. It's just a type of web application that developers use. But feel free to research more on this. This is what I ended up doing just to get more experience with CodeFusion. I even watched a few YouTube videos just to see how people are using it in their production environments and how they interact with it. So it's good to understand what these applications are, especially the ones where we're compromising, what they're doing and why they're vulnerable. Okay, but as you can see here from just the quick descriptions, this is a development platform to build web applications on. Okay, so that was cool, right? I got this login page, so I'm thinking that this may be the way that we get into the box. I tried a few SQL injection queries. They did not work. I was going to do a brute force attack, but I try to save brute force attacks for last because they just take up so much time. So we just started enumerating some more. I did some more enumeration inside of these different directories. I ended up finding nothing too crazy, nothing we didn't know, but something else that told us, confirmed that this was CodeFusion version 8. So afterwards, in the back of my head, I'm thinking maybe there's some type of exploit out there for this application. And that's what led us to these different GitHubs that I have opened up here. What is this one? Oh, this is for something else. We'll talk about that later. So let's just go through it. Let me Google it so you can see exactly how I stumbled upon it. All I did was Code Fusion 8 exploit. Sometimes I add GitHub to the end of it, sometimes I don't. And you can see what I was interacting with, or the links that I clicked on. And this is the one that I have open, I believe. Yeah, these are the same. So this is it right here. And when we read more into this exploit, what it's doing is, well, what we're going to do to get this to work first, we're going to create this reverse shell. Okay, we're going to store it as a JSP file. And then it looks like this Python script is going to post this JSP reverse shell onto one of the directories that this application is hosting. And then once it's posted there, we can execute that reverse shell and get a shell connected back to us on whatever listening port that we pick over here. All right, so that's what it looked like this thing was doing. And we'll run it now just so you can see it. So once again, just to recap before we move any further, we are exploiting this port right here, 8500. It's running Code Fusion. Okay, we can see that from here. I didn't try to do the brute force attack against this password field. This may have worked for somebody, right? You could use Burp Suite, WFuzz, Hydra, whichever password cracker you want to use. I typically save that for last, only because it just takes so much time. And yeah, so now what we ended up doing was just looking for Code Fusion 8 exploits, and we found one, right? We weren't sure if this was going to work at first, but it looked promising, right? It was the right version. If you go read the CVE details on it, it is the right version, Code Fusion 8, and there's apparently a lot of exploits against this. Okay. All right, so first things first, you're going to want to run this, which should still be here. And it's not here. So let's go ahead and run this again. Let's run it down here so we can see it. So we're going to put our port, let's just do 1234. Then our IP address, 10.10.14.13. Let's make sure that didn't change. Okay, we're good. And everything else is going to be the same. We want a Java reverse shell. Okay, format's going to be raw. We're going to save it inside of this file called shell.jsp. Oh, actually, I think it is created. I think it's in this directory, actually. Because this is the Git repo that we cloned down, right? You're going to have to clone this down, right? Copy that. Once you clone it down, this is it here. So what I'm going to do actually is move the shell that we just created into that location, just so we have the right port number. So this is the shell here that we just created with MSF Venom. This is the Python exploit that we are going to use. Let's go ahead and open up a listener on port, I think it was 1234. Netcat LVMP 1234. Yeah, 1234. Now we have to run this script. The directions are pretty cool. I love when we get straightforward directions inside of these exploits and inside of some scripts. This is actually compatible with Python 3, or you can just use regular Python, Python 2. So no need for me to tap into my virtual environment. We're just going to run this as is. Okay, -T for the target, 10.10.10.11. -P for the port, which is 8500. And this is going to be the file path of our shell. JSP, and that's it, I think. So let's hit enter. This is going to go ahead and post this shell onto one of these directories inside of here, and it's going to give us the path that we can use to execute the shell, right, wherever it posts it. Here we go. So this is where it is. Our shell was successfully uploaded here. So all we have to do is copy this, come over here, replace this URL with our new one. Let me get this extra backspace out of there. Hit enter, and we should get a shell back over here. Let's give that a few. It does take a while. This box moves pretty slow. So we do have a shell back, and we are the toeless user. Right, this is a user account on here. You can actually go and grab the flag under this account now if you want to, but you might as well wait till we get system level access. So from here, what are we going to do? One of the first things we always do is just check what permissions we have. And we do have this impersonate and create global privileges set on this account. So it's a no-brainer from here. If you've done or watched the other walkthroughs, there are a few different exploits that I think you can try on this box. And I did try to do the MS-15-051 exploit. Well, no, I didn't. I tried to do this exploit and I couldn't get it to work. Alright, I tried to use this exploit here. We used this on a different box. I can't remember which one. But this didn't work, and I was enumerating to try to use an exploit that I haven't used before, which is why this repo is up right here. I can't remember what happened. I didn't get it. Something didn't work right for me. I think it's this in-packet thing that I always run into an issue with. So I just went ahead with the Juicy Potato exploit, just to keep things simple. Okay, so for Juicy Potato, all we're going to do, I'm going to create another shell because I'm not sure what port this is using. So we're going to run something. Windows, let's make sure this is an x64 system. I think it is. We ran system info just to get some information on this box. Yeah, so it is x64, the system type. So let's go ahead and finish off this reverse shell that we want. Shell underscore reverse underscore TCP. L host, this is going to be us. -11 L port. Let's do 443-F. We want this to be an executable. And we'll just rewrite over this one. So while that's going on, oh, that was quick. Okay, we got our shell.exe. I have my juicy potato exploit here. This is the 64-bit version. I just renamed it to juicy.exe. Makes it a lot easier to interact with. You can see that I did try to use this churrasco.exe, and I was playing around with this, but I couldn't get it to work. I'm going to look at some other write-ups after this to see what other people did to escalate their privileges, if there was something new that I haven't used before. Because that's my goal, right? My goal is to learn new things and get better at older exploits that we've already used, but I always want to try to learn new stuff. So we have to transfer this and this over to this box. I don't think we have write permission here, do we? Let's see. Yeah, we do. Oh, my juicy exe is here already, and this is here, and this is here. But we're going to transfer it again just to make sure. Now, what I did to transfer it, I just started up an SMB listener or SMB server on our local box here. This is the script. that we will run, the smb server.py. This is where it lives, executed with Python 3. This is the name of our smb file server here. So now that's running, we can copy those files. Yes, we're going to overwrite it. It's already here. We're just going to overwrite it only because I don't remember what port I used here. And then we're going to copy one more, which is going to be, well, we don't need to copy the juicy, but I'll do it just for practice purposes. And those are both there now. So now what I'm going to do is grab the line, the string that we need to execute this. Okay, I'm going to use this one. Let's try this one first. Right, I have all of my stuff saved in a file. There's just too many things out there to remember, you all. So if you can remember all of this stuff, more power to you. But I can't. I can remember most things, but not everything. I think the key is understanding where to find what you're looking for. So let's start this listener up. Let's go ahead and run this. Make sure it's right. Juicy XE, listening port 443. Payload is this. Okay, this is the token we're going to use. If this doesn't work, then I'll just use the other one. Okay, this didn't work. Let's try this one. Wait, that's using the same token, no. Here, let me try it again just in case. Okay, it's listening on port 443. That's what we're using. That's what we use to create this shell. Let's just make sure I didn't mess up anything here. Oh yeah, we did. This shell is using the wrong port. Alright, so, I mean, it's using the wrong IP address. And you all didn't tell me while we were recording this. You know I can hear you, right? You're just supposed to yell it so I can hear you clearly. Say, hey, Toby, wrong IP address. Goodness gracious, guys. You gotta do better. So let's copy this over again. Cali shell.exe. Yes. And let's run this again. And let's see if that works. All right, that works perfectly. Cool. Now we are the system user. Okay, this is how we escalated our privileges. This was pretty cool. Okay, I do have a write-up on this if you want to see it. I will add it to the description here. Whoops, looks like I'm not logged in on that machine. So if I just go here, stories, here it is. Let's look at our after action report. So for, actually this is the wrong box. Oh, I don't think I wrote it up yet. I thought I did. Oh, so I didn't write it up yet. That's pretty interesting. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do a write-up for this right after this video is over. But so what we learned here, this system was vulnerable to this code fusion exploit that we ran. Alright, it was super vulnerable to it. We were able, well, how did we find this, right? From our Nmap Scan, that's how we were able to find this service running on port 8500. Now, to prevent this from being exploited in the future, what we may want to recommend is that they upgrade this version of Code Fusion to something that's not vulnerable to the exploit that we use. Okay, and this privilege escalation, the juicy potato, that's, you know, I think I did do some of the write-up, I just didn't finish it. But to prevent us from using juicy potato, I mean, there are a few things you can do. Based on my research, one thing you could do is try to disable decom, but that wouldn't be the most effective alternative, only because it may disrupt other services and processes that you have running in your environment. So you can either upgrade your operating system to something a little bit more secure, or just secure your sensitive accounts that are running different services. All right, that's it for Artic. Artic was a pretty cool box. If you have not tried it, please go ahead and give it a try. If you like this video, do me a favor. Please, please, please smash the like button and subscribe to our channel for more videos. If there's a specific box you want us to compromise, please put that in the comment section. Please, pretty please, with a ribbon on top. Other than that, if you want to get onto one of our live hacking sessions, just leave it in the comment below. We would love to have you. You all have a good one. Stay safe. Happy New Year. Hold on to your loved ones. We made it to 2022. God bless those who didn't make it with us. Other than that, you all, peace out. Take care, and I'll see you next time.